Peace, peace. This your host, Selah-Shalom. And this is the Cosmon teachings in the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible OAHSPE. And the topic of discussion today is called Becoming Your Own Doctor and Healing Yourself. Now, health is probably the most important issue for an individual. You could pray to God, you could pray to whoever you want to, you could meditate, but if your health is not in check, all that is irrelevant. So the key thing is to know thyself, as the scriptures say, as the Egyptians said, as all indigenous people stated. And to know thyself is to know your body. Not to know Jesus, not to know God, not to know Buddha, Allah, not to know Jehovah. It's to know you, yourself, your body, which is anatomy. Studying one's own self. That's the first lesson taught. Now, the reason why you got to become your own doctor is because if you put your health, if you rely on your health to be saved from someone else, then you are in jeopardy already. You know what I'm saying? If you catch a cold and you don't know how to remove that cold, and you have to go to a doctor for that, you're in jeopardy of your health. Because first of all, the pharmaceutical world, their drugs are all acidic-based drugs. Anything that is acidic-based cannot help the body. So every time you take a Tylenol, aspirin, goodies, antibiotics, all these drugs are acidic in nature. And anything acidic is harm to your physical body. So, one thing one needs to begin to understand and study is what we call the pH scale. The pH scale is the balance of the body. The pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. 0 to 6 being acid, 7 to 14 being alkaline. This is the most important thing you should study when it comes to your health, because this is the blueprint on having a healthy body or having an unhealthy body. Now, all diseases, sicknesses, strive and live in an acidic environment. And coming back to the pH scale, everything that is acidic ranges from 0 to 6, so all diseases thrive in this region. Now when you come to alkalinity, which is health for the body, that ranges from 7 to 14. And no sickness and disease can exist in an alkaline body. So this is the blueprint and key on understanding a healthy body. So if alkalinity states that no sickness and diseases cannot exist in that environment, it'll make sense to keep your body in that environment, an alkaline state environment. But most of us are unaware of alkalinity because in the pharmaceutical world they promote acid. Everything they deal with is acidic. All their prescription drugs, laboratory drugs that they make is all acidic. Nature didn't produce it. If nature didn't produce it, it's not of the creator and it shouldn't be of use. If it was made by man in a laboratory, it's acidic, period. Only nature can produce alkalinity. Man can produce acidity based off experimenting with these prescription drugs. Now, another thing to understand is the periodic table of elements. That is the physical makeup of the body. If it's not on the periodic table of elements, it doesn't exist. So when somebody tells you that your body needs protein, you pull out the periodic table of elements and ask that person to show you protein on the periodic table of elements. Protein doesn't exist. But that which is attributed to protein that people say that the body needs is calcium, phosphorus, things to strengthen the bones, the cartilages, and the muscles. And they tell you that you got to get protein through meat, something that is dead. That's the biggest lie ever. Anything that is dead is acidic. Any living animal that was once alive and loses the breath of life through death becomes acidic. The meat, the blood, everything is acidic. So your fish, your beef, your chicken, your pork, all your meat is acidic. So So you cannot get anything healthy from eating meat or anything that is dead, that once breathed the breath of life, like animals. Now, most people suffer from diseases based off their diet. Colon cancer, prostate cancer. In females, you got polyps, fibroid tumors. All these things come from ascetic diets. Disease is nothing more than mucus build up on different organs, and when the mucus is addressed, when the mucus is built up on one organ, they address it with one name. When it's built up on another organ, they give it another name. You know what I'm saying? And this become your diseases, but it's all mucus concentrated in different areas of the body. So, if you want to stay healthy and not get sick and have to rely on a doctor who's going to give you some drugs where you can't even pronounce the name of the drug, it breaks the barrier of even English. In English, we have Q, then U. In some of these prescriptions, you say QX. Now, how are you supposed to pronounce that? So my point is that you have to become your own doctor. I'm a doctor. I'm a holistic healer. I heal disease. I've healed cancer. I've healed fibroid tumors, polyps, diabetes, the Johnson disease, and even AIDS. But I haven't came across anybody who has AIDS yet to say that they want to address this issue. A lot of people are ashamed to address that they have AIDS, and I clearly understand that. But once you have somebody who have the answer and can explain to you and has the resources to make it happen, then your outlook should be a little different. So now, back to the pH scale. All meat is acidic, ranging between 4 and 5 on the pH scale. Rice, beans, brown rice are all acidic. Most of the foods we eat are acidic. This is why we suffer from so many diseases. And these diseases are acquired through the length of years. So if you've been eating meat for over 20 years, then yeah, you're going to have a disease after 20 years of eating acidic foods. You have people who suffer with ulcers. You have people who suffer with constipation. You know what I'm saying? All this comes from your diet. So what you would need to do is change your diet from an acidic diet to an alkaline diet. When you go on an alkaline diet, you will remove the constipation, the ulcer would heal itself. You would remove any diseases within your body as long as you remain on the alkaline diet. What are alkaline foods? All tropical fruits are alkaline. Grains such as almonds, walnuts, all those are alkaline in nature. Lime is probably one of the strongest alkalinities. It's 11 on the pH scale. That's why they have lime in every household cleaning product. Because it kills bacteria. It's an anti-agent. It kills disease. It kills bacteria. So when you put this in your body, it's going to react the same way. You're going to start removing disease in your body. Lime can do that alone. The most strongest alkalinities that will address disease is your herbs. The ones I use is yellow dock, blue vervain, amaranth. Those 3 herbs alone will remove the majority of diseases that people suffer with. And it's how you prepare the herbs. That's the next secret. But I'm not going to address that here. But I'm just giving you a blueprint on how you could remain healthy. Understanding the pH scale first, and then understanding the effects of acid and the effects of alkaline. Now, you have many preachers out here, many Hebrew Israelites, many Muslims, imams, Christian pastors, leading all these people, but not addressing their health. All these religions confess to eating the flesh of dead animals, meat, and claim to be holy. That's a lie. That's deception. You cannot be holy and allow dead flesh to enter your mouth and enter your digestive system and make your body acidic. Now the Christians will try to escape by saying, with the quote that's in the Bible where it says that Jesus said it's not what goes into your mouth, but what comes out. Now if you want to hold on to that, you can. But don't get mad when you start getting prostate cancer, colon cancer, like your pastors have. You know what I'm saying? You'll get heart disease. All of this is from your flesh-eating diet. You know what I'm saying? And you cannot represent the Creator and say you are a servant of the Creator and you consuming flesh. That goes against His ways. Thou shalt not kill any living creature the Creator created alive. But then you go to Leviticus and say, well, right here it says you can eat the clean and unclean meats. Those are all lies. The Creator never changed His words. It always was and it always will be. That's why He gave us science. So when man had become civilized and was able to detect things in nature scientifically, man was like, well, damn, these things has always been. Give you an example of your human body. The blood of the human body is 7.34 alkaline. So that means that the Creator made you free from sickness and disease when He created mortals. But it's only until mortals became civilized enough to have scientific equipment to detect that the blood is 7.3 alkaline. But it always was until we discovered it. So that's proof that the Creator never designed you to consume acidic things, because your blood will be in the acidic range. But our blood is in the alkaline range. So that means we must maintain alkalinity in order to stay healthy. And like I said, sickness and disease cannot exist in an alkaline environment. So with that being said, sickness and disease had no place in the beginning when man ate the alkaline foods. He lived his life completely. But when man started eating the flesh is when death and disease entered his body through acid. Because acid is a consumer. It consumes the flesh. It consumes the cells of the body. And the body is made up of cells in different forms, structures, densities, but it's all made up of cells. And all cells are ranked off of one principle, that they need oxygen to live and they need to be in a liquid environment to sustain itself. If they're deprived of those two things, they will starve and they will die. That's what you call your disease. When your cells are deprivating, they're not getting oxygen, they're not getting liquid. And water is alkaline. Water is 7. See that? Even to my 5%ers who deal with, the devil being 6 and God being 7. Even on the pH scales, it shows you those parallels. Acid stops at 6. And alkalinity starts at 7. So we acquire God with 7 and we acquire the devil with 6. And all sickness and disease thrive in acid, which is the devil's domain. And no sickness and disease can thrive in an alkaline environment, which is God's domain. See, I could take it there with it. Show you the parallel, show that God is holy and pure on the alkalinity level. While Satan is unholy and impure on the acidic level. Just dealing with the pH scale. Show you how I could equate even that. So, you must become your own doctor, because we're about to go through some crucial times. And if your health is not up to par, if your immune system is not strong, you're going to die off. You're not going to survive the coming diseases that's going to be harvested on the people in these coming years. Because you remember, the elite are trying to wipe out, X amount of billion people off the planet? They already got the wars going on. In the East, they dropping like flies over there in Africa and the Far East. Egypt, Canaan, Syria, all them niggas is dropping like flies over there. People in Africa dying from starvation and diseases. They got earthquakes over there in Indonesia. It's a lot of things going on. They wiping off people off the planet. But for us in America, they're going to be more smarter because we're not a dumbed down people. Although we becoming dumbed down because they want to dumb us down so they can have full control over us. But the easiest way they're going to get rid of people in this country is through food, drinks, and diseases. And if you're not knowledgeable of your health, you're going to fall into the category of a diseased person. You're going to be looked at as, oh, he got a disease. You know how many people out here got diseases right now? Atlanta's number 6 with AIDS. Out of 52 states, we 6. So that means every female or dude damn near walking around is carrying the virus. And I know a lot of doctors will say that a lot of them are going out giving out the virus. You hear them say it. When they go to the doctor and they get it, they find out they got AIDS, they'll tell you that, well, I don't care, I'm gonna give it to as much people as possible. And she may have big boobs, big ass, dress up fast, sassy. So when you see her on the street like, damn, I want to hit that, and you hit it, next thing you know, you got it. And you don't know how to cure AIDS. And you getting sick, and you getting all these sores and bumps, these lesions on yourself, and now you're getting scared. And the doctor gives you some drugs that's supposed to address the virus, which is making you worse because it's acidic, so it's killing, weakening your immune system. When it's supposed to be strengthening it. So you're going to have to be on point in these next coming years, because the way they're going to kill off the majority of people in this country, America, is through disease, through acidic drugs. And who's going to suffer the most? It's going to be us, the black race, because we're at the bottom of the pole. You know what I'm saying? You have the whites and Asians at the top. You have the Mexicans took us. The Mexicans took our place, bro. The blacks in this country at the bottom of the pole. So we the worst of the worst, while you thinking everything is handy and dandy. So if anything, the least you could do is become your own doctor and heal yourself. Because many of these herbs grow right in nature, right up under your feet that you walk upon every day. These same herbs could cure you from disease. Like dandelion. Dandelion cures you from infections from the spleen and the liver. See that? But when you look at the TV commercials, they'll tell you that dandelion is a pestilent weed in your garden to get rid of it, not knowing that has medicinal uses. See the tricks of the devil? So at the end of the day, you have to become knowledgeable of these things. Nobody else. You have to become your own doctor and your own healer. Because if you got to rely on going to Grady, going to DeKalb Medical or any of these hospitals, you're going to be in trouble. They're going to be giving you drugs and you don't know what the hell you're taking. When we address people with issues, we show them the herbs. We tell them, you know what I mean, the alkalinity of the herbs. You know what I'm saying? We address it. But the doctors don't tell you those things. They'll give you a drug that says Eximia ituso. And you don't even know what the hell that is. You don't even know, when you look at the definition, if the definition are words the equivalent of that. So you really don't know what you're taking. You're not there when they're creating these drugs in the laboratory. You don't know what they're putting in there. So this is why you have to become your own doctor and heal yourself. That's what we about. You know what I'm saying? I done cured many people. I'm sharing the craft with other people. I learned how to cure studying Dr. Sabi on YouTube. Never met the man, just watched him on YouTube, took notes and applied the technique, and now I'm doing the same thing. So it's not that hard to do. You know what I'm saying? I've cured somebody with the Johnson disease, a homeboy of mine. He got bit by a spider, and his whole skin looked like he got burnt from a 3rd-degree fire. When I was talking to him, he started bleeding out the mouth right then and there. I said, yo, I got something to address that. I ran to the crib, came back with a bottle of herbs, and I said, yo, drink this. And the next time I seen him, within a month later, he was like, yo, man, those herbs work. My skin cleared up after that. What I gave him was iron, because I knew his immune system was weak. So when he took that, his immune system got back strengthened. His face cleared up, and he looked like nothing ever happened. And he went around and told everybody in the community that I cured him from the Johnson disease. And now everybody in the community is looking at me and asking me, you know what I'm saying, my homegirl, she got fibroid tumors. My mother got cancer. They dealing with me based off of him being cured. So what I'm saying is that you have to become your own doctor. You have to become an asset to your community, your immediate community, right now. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings. Shalom.